We all knew that was going to happen, didn't we? Just burnt my hand. Anyway, I think it's 11 rads to flush through and a towel rail, and the customer wanted service on the boiler as well. We're going to put the Magna Clean on the return here, so that's fairly straightforward enough. So there seems to be no flow going through this, so we'll check that valve at the bottom. A little agitator. It goes on the end of your STS drill, and put your drill onto chisel. Agitates the radiators. I'm squashed underneath the boiler because I'm going to fill this up with a bit of water from the heating system. So I'm just going to crack this drain off open. Right, end of the week, nice little job to finish the week off. System flush on this job. I've got, I think it's 11 rads to flush through and a towel rail, and the customer wanted service on the boiler as well. And as you know, I don't do gas work. A lot of people ask me about that. I used to be gas registered years ago, but I didn't have the volume of the work to keep it up, and a lot of my work was reactive plumbing, bathrooms, stuff like that. So inside there at the minute, servicing the boiler is Ben Johnson Gas Services. He does all my gas work for me. If I've got a big job, boilers involved, Ben does all the boilers and all that sort of stuff. And it works both ways. You know, he's got work that he passes on to me, I pass all my gas stuff on to him, so that works. So he's in there at the minute servicing the boiler. It's a Valent, old Valent. So we've got the AD Magna Cleanse to go onto the system. We're going to put a Magna Clean on because I haven't got one, and also I've got the AD Pro Check. So what we'll do is test the system before we flush it, and then it will give you an idea, and I'll run you through exactly how that AD Pro Check works, and we can have a look at that. Also, I've got the Hick Micro Pocket Series thermostatic camera. So with that thermostatic camera, we'll be able to show the rads with the heat along the top, the cold spots on the bottom, and then afterwards we can run through the system, and then once it's flushed out through the Magna Cleanse, go around again with the thermo camera and just show the customer that all the rads are clean. But Ben's in there at the minute, servicing the old dinosaur of a Valent. Getting there, mate, a bit cleaner,
yeah.
So this was the age old. You ask the customer, has it been serviced? Oh, I think it has. I think you'd rather know whether it has or it hasn't. But either way, Ben's having a look at it, get that serviced up, and then we can start getting on with it. We're going to put the Magna Clean on the return here, so that's fairly straightforward enough. And then run round and begin to get it flushed. So here I am in my little broom cupboard where the boiler is. Ben's finished servicing the boiler. We've now cut in the Magna Clean because I didn't have one, so we fitted the unit in there and then attached the big Magna Cleanse unit on, and I'm about to put in some MC3 into the dosing pot, get that in, put the magnet back in, and turn the heating on and run the heating up and just get that cleaner into the system and let it do its thing for a little while. So we've now got the heating run up. As you can see on here, boiler's running on full. We've got the heat going through the system. I should quickly show you on the thermal imaging. I can turn it on. So as you can see on the thermal imaging, that rad there is nice and hot, and I'll take it through. So this one, as you can see, has got bit of a cold spot round on it, so there seems to be no flow going through there, so we'll check that valve at the bottom, that one there, just to make sure we can get some circulation through there. It's showing a little bit of heat, but it just doesn't seem to be circulating. Whereas this one over here, yeah, that was nice and hot. So let's try and get some heat through this one here. So these two rads, this one and this one in the lounge, being on the end of the circuit in the whole house, so that's what I can work out anyway, they were struggling to get the heat through. So what I've done, shut both sides of them off, drain the rad down, then opened each end and pulled a lot of the water through into the bucket to just try and force a bit of heat into these two rads. Then pop them back on, open them up, vent them, re-top the boiler, and now we've got two very hot, efficient working rads. We've also got this one in the hallway as well. Yeah, they're all getting nice and warm and nice and hot, so the system is being flushed through. It's been on now, probably running around for an hour or so. I'll give it probably another hour, then begin the flush process and the cold flush process of basically dumping all the system out, flushing it through, filling it up, running it up to temperature, dump it out, fill it up again cold, flush it through, do another AD Pro check on it. The first one that came back said, I'll try and put it up on the screen here if I can get to it via my emails. Basically a pre-check, and it said from memory, what was it? Low corrosion, no inhibitor, flush recommended, which is what we was here to do anyway. So by the end of play today, we shall have no corrosion, no issues in it, and inhibitor will be back into it. But yeah, it's just nice now to have all these rads, especially these two. These were the two that the customer said, you know, we're not getting any heat down this side of the lounge, so they certainly will be getting heat now. This rad in the kitchen, put the thermal imaging on it, is not getting warm at all. So what I'll do with this one, the same as what I've done before, shut this side off. We'll make sure the pin is working in the top of this TRV, put it on this side, open it up, drain this rad down, and then try and pull some heat through. So put that on, shut it down, open this valve, and then drain out what's in the rad. Like so. Open the air at the top, and put the NERAD funnel on it, just drain out that water. And if we just crack this side, you'll hear it, and it's just, there we go, pulling some heat through, and then you'll just feel the heat coming through the bottom there. So we'll tighten that one off, and then we'll do the same. There we go. Just try and force a bit of heat through. Like so. And then when we connect that back onto there, open this side up first, and it'll begin circulating around this radiator. So there you go. You can see the heat now coming into that rad with it venting at the top. So now the heating's been running for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm going to go around and agitate the radiators with this little agitator. It goes on the end of your STS drill, and put your drill onto chisel and basically just agitates the radiators. Now, some people put socks or covers on the end of them. I just pop a towel over the top of the rad and then go across it like that. I'll show you. And what that does is just rattles the inside of the radiator. So if there's any iron oxide or sediment built up in the bottom of the rads, it'll just shift it around, circulate around the system, and then it'll all get caught in the Magna Cleanse unit down by the boiler. So we'll go around, do all the rads, and then go back round with thermal imaging and see how we're getting on. So now with every radiator in the house shut off, and just this one open. We've got the hose rigged up and the hose is open and the filling loop is open on the boiler. So now the whole system is going through and it's flushing through this radiator here. So we can feel the heat in it at the moment because it's just cold water going through here. That will become cold soon. Then we'll shut this one off, move to the next one, work our way around every single radiator in the house so that they've all been flushed through. And then we know the system is completely clear. So we're just doing the final flush through of the system out the door, and I thought I would just run a sort of intermittent pro check on it. Now the first time I done it, it said insufficient inhibitor, obviously because there was no inhibitor in it. Corrosion level was low, but the pH level was basically telling me it needed a full flush. So we've spent the day flushing it all through now. So I've just done another test, insufficient inhibitor, because we haven't put the inhibitor in it yet till we've completely finished. Corrosion level is low, no further action required. pH level okay, no further action required. So once the inhibitor's in, I'll do a final check with this AD Pro check, and I'll just show you exactly how you do it. It's really straightforward, but yeah, I just wanted to do sort of a halfway house, making sure the whole system was clean and the pH levels were okay. So we're all good. We'll just finish getting it flushed through now, and then if you can see it, it's in there just running through, and then every single radiator is getting red hot. So then we can balance the system down to run it at sort of 55-60 degrees, and then we'll do a final check through with that. This one has gone really well. All the rads now are getting hot, especially these two in the lounge that I think I showed you earlier on in the video that was struggling. They're holding temperature now perfectly. So right, let's have a little bit of a clear up. I've got my kit in here because I've been working this real tight space. It's all out on the front garden. So we'll all get all that together and then get ready to get some inhibitor in the system and start to get it finished off. So now we've done that last little check prior to the inhibitor going in, what we'll do now, we'll switch the boiler off for the minute, disconnect Magna Cleanse unit, get that outside, and that will give us a chance to pull these two magnets out and just see how much iron oxide or whatnot come out of the system. To be fair, the first check we did said there wasn't a lot rattling around the system, but you never know until you pull these out. We'll have a look. But yeah, it'd be interesting to take these out, take these magnets out and see if it's caught much iron filings and crap from in the system. So we'll knock the boiler off, turn these valves off for the new Magna Clean unit, pop that on, and we'll also be putting the inhibitor into that dosing pot, and then it can just work its way around the system. So let's get this disconnected. So what we do is just shut these two valves off here, and what I do, you might get a little bit of water come out, but I just pop these two quick releases off. Like so, that one, and then that one, just pop, turn them upwards, stop any water coming out, like so, and then we'll just take this unit outside. Then we just remove, like so, these speaker fittings. That's a little adapter that comes with the Magna Clean unit, and then we can push on the new Magna Clean unit. So what we'll do before we open these up now, we will just take the top off, like so, and then we'll put in the MC1 inhibitor, and that'll just stay in the system obviously and just keep the system nice and clean. Now we know it is perfect bar for the inhibitor. Once this is in, I will do another test before we go just to make sure it's showing up, and then we can email the results over to the customer as well. There's two valves on the side. That's it. That is all in line now on the return. So what we'll do, fire the boiler up, run it up while we're cleaning up. That's the inhibitor in. We'll leave it for half an hour or so while we tidy everything down, get all my tools and that in the van. Then we'll do one last final check with the Pro check to make sure it's showing up with the inhibitor in it. To be honest, I'm not sure how much it's going to have caught, because when we've done the first check through, the AD Pro check brought up low corrosion. It's not a problem. It passed, to be fair, it passed the corrosion test on the first run through. It was more the pH values and stuff like that. So let's whip them off. Let's see what we've got. Oh, it's caught a little bit, not loads. but you'd rather take that out than leave it in. So that's that one. Have a look. Yeah, a little bit. Something's better than nothing. Right, so let me run you through this pro check. I'm squashed underneath the boiler because I'm going to fill this up with a bit of water from the heating system. So I'm just going to crack this drain off open and take a little bit of water from here, if it'll let me. We all knew that was going to happen, didn't we? Just burnt my hand. Anyway, we've now got some water out of the heating system, so let's go and do a check on it. Now it's finally got the inhibitor in it. So what we've got is, inside there, the water from the heating system. You've got a little pro check card here to run your check against. So we'll put that there. Inside here, get a load of test strips. So we've got a new one out just there. So go on to your app, if I can find it. So go on to your AD Pro Test app. I don't know if you can see this on the GoPro. Let me spin it round. So new water test. Put the postcode of the property in and just do this. Right, that's the information for the property. I won't show you what that is. So it is a retest because we tested it earlier. So hit retest, next. It's a combi system. Next, job reference, I'll just put 01 on here. Boiler serial number is optional, you can do it. I did it on the first one, so I don't need to keep doing it on this one. Next, is there a filter? Yes. Next, right, take a sample of water, which you've got here. Continue. Then you have to take a picture, place sample against a pale background and take a photo. So what I do, I just put the card behind it like that and take a photo, and then continue. Clear or yellow? Yep, that's what we're at. Continue. Right, dip test strip into sample for 3 seconds and then remove. So we get a test strip, dip it in all the way in. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so it got the top bit. Yeah. And then just have to wait for it to dry. Even gives you a little countdown there. So we'll just wait for that to dry. Then the counter will count you down for your minute of drying time. For best results, dip no longer than 2 minutes before dipping. Allowed to dry for 60 seconds. So it's nearly dried. And then what we do, we put it next to the test strip, like so. So it's right by the side of it, and then you just get your phone and it does it. So hold that over the top of it, like so. I'm struggling for signal in this house because we are literally in the middle of nowhere. Let me take it here, see if I get a bit of a better signal. Yeah, here we go. 1, 2, it takes 3 pictures, I think. 3. So then, but instantly results: inhibitor pass, corrosion pass, pH pass. Inhibitor level okay, system is protected, no further action required. Corrosion level is low, no further action required. pH level okay, no further action required. Then you just press continue, add any notes. So on the notes here I will add full system flush complete. Funds power complete. Done. And then you can go onto your management at procheckad.com and check all your old history, which I will do. So hit complete test, and then it uploads to the AD system, and then you've got a complete referral database for all the system flushes you've done, all the boilers, if you put boilers in and flush the system through, and you've got everything all there in black and white, pH levels checked, pass, pass, pass. So yeah, so that's that heating system done. All the rads are getting hot. I've turned the boiler down, it's running around 60 degrees. The whole house gets hot, but it is a bloody warm day outside today. So with that done, I'm going to stick everything in the van and head home. So if you've liked this, if you enjoyed the video, if you've learned something from it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop me a comment below, and I'll catch you on the next one.